46 years ago, just today, President Johnson signed Medicare into law. And then that time he remarked, "There are men and women in pain who will find ease. There are those alone and suffering who will now hear the sound of approaching help. There are those fearing the terrible darkness of despair and poverty, despite long years of labor and expectation, who will now see the light of hope and realization."
We have the same crisis of coverage that we have today that we had then, is that more and more people aren't getting the care that they need when they need it because they don't have insurance coverage. So how are we going to fix that? We're not going to fix the problem of cost by cutting people off of Medicare or increasing Medicare age, because those people are still going to need care. And if you put them in the private system, or the private portion of the non-system, it's going to end up costing more.
I'm a mad as hell doctor, and I've been in practicing for 30 years, and I've seen in that time a lot of people who just are like this, who don't have the kind of coverage they need to get the care that they should have.
You have cancer, have an operation, the insurance company won't touch you then on. They'll keep you as long as they have to, but if they ever have to turn you loose, you can't buy it anywhere else without paying prohibitively.
My parents both had significant chronic health care problems when they were over 65. Medicare covered procedures like open heart surgery and hospitalization, treatment for diabetes, high blood pressure, arthritis, and Parkinson's disease. Many other Americans have those same chronic illnesses, and they're not covered at all. You know, other industrial countries around the world cover everybody from birth to through the elderly.
But I want to give you a little bit of statistics that if you try to buy insurance today, two of you with two kids, and you're 40, if you buy Blue Cross, you will pay about $2,500 a month if it's not subsidized by your company or by other people. That's $2,500. That's about $30,000 a year. And if you made $60,000 a year of salary, that means 50% of your salary goes to your health care.
A few weeks ago, I was at a high school reunion. I'm not going to say which one, but it was one of those. One of the prettier members of our class asked me, I brought up the subject of single-payer health care, which I try to do wherever I go. And she says, "Oh, do you think health care is a right or a privilege?" And I made the mistake of, I think, falling into this trap, taking the bait. It's a right, of course. And she, of course, then did the privilege stuff. And it was a mistake on my part to not say instead, it's neither, it's a need. It's a human need, and we won't be fully human until everyone has access to it.
In our case, 5 different insurance companies rejected our applications. Remember, we have no major medical illnesses. We're just a healthy family. A representative from one of the companies actually told me that they would not insure us because they would not make any money on us, and that we might cost them money if we became ill. Isn't that what medical coverage is for?
I think that my role in this is to call upon my generation and say, hey, young people, what's up? If we think about it, what is Medicare exactly? We have this idea in our head that Medicare is for old people, right? Something that we will never be because we're young and we're going to look like this and feel like this forever. Well, newsflash, we too one day will not be as healthy as what we are today. And we need to really become aware of that and start to make our voices heard.
And actually, a study done recently in 2009 said that 62% of bankruptcies in the U.S. are caused by medical bills. And a significant majority in that percentage were people who were solidly middle class, who were educated, had higher degrees, owned their own homes, owned their own cars, and a significant portion of those bankruptcies already had insurance.
I just want to tell you what you can do to get Medicare for all. There are things you can do. Learn what you can about our current system, why it is so unfair and why it's failing. Read about how other countries have chosen healthcare systems that serve their people well.